Finally, ever wonder what famous singers or actors are getting up to while no records are being recorded or films being made? Well, the singer James Blunt and Hugh Bonneville, Downton's Earl Grantham, of course, have both accepted our offer to cheer the rest of us up by telling us what they have been doing in the lock-in. James Blunt first, then.
Hello, this is James Blunt, in lockdown in Ibiza, gathering firewood. Stay home, save lives.
So gathering firewood, in short, while social distancing. And as for Hugh, well, he sent us a slightly longer guide to useful things to do while staying at home and staying safe.
As the days at home have turned into weeks and might possibly become months, I thought I'd share with you some top tips on how to pass the time. Why not shave your head? Because let's face it, you're not going to a barber anytime soon. Next, why not take up some of those unfinished projects? For instance, I've got this overcoat. I'm very fond of it, but it's always had a button missing. I finally tracked down a button and I'm going to sew it on.
All of which leaves me with the question, do I go the full Bonneville with my hair, as it perhaps should be known? Watch this space. That's it. Good night and thank you for watching.
Our headlines today. The Prime Minister says coronavirus testing needs to be increased massively after it emerged as 2,000 frontline NHS workers in England had been tested.
This is the way through. This is how we will unlock the coronavirus puzzle. This is how we will defeat it in the end.
Almost 1 million people apply for universal credit in 2 weeks as financial concerns around the pandemic grow.
Good morning. British Airways is to suspend 36,000 workers. The airline will announce 80% of its cabin crew, ground staff, engineers and office workers will have their jobs put on hold until the coronavirus crisis passes.
And talks will continue this morning on how football battles the coronavirus. The Premier League's top players are urged to resist wage cuts until they've spoken with their union, as more clubs put non-playing staff on leave and reduce salaries.
Clap for Our Carers is back tonight with some familiar faces.
Won't give up the fight for you. On behalf of my family and myself, heroes.
So, of course, we're only allowed outside for one short jog a day at the moment, which isn't great for marathon runners, unless, of course, you do the whole 26.2 miles in your back garden. So that's what James Campbell did. The former Commonwealth Games javelin thrower said he'd never thought about running a marathon until he went into isolation. He completed it in just over 5 hours and raised £20,000 for charity.
5 hours is really impressive.
That's a very good time.
It's a really good time.
Backwards and forwards all the way. Well,
Dizzy.
I think there are quite a few people, they're setting themselves serious goals with limited space.
Yeah.
Very
But
impressive.
who kept count?
Don't know. Probably, I don't know. Let's find that out.
We should. It is 17 minutes past 6. We'll take a look at the front pages for you. We'll start with The Sun. It dedicates its front page to an appeal for Britons to carry on clapping their support for NHS workers tonight at 8 o'clock. Remember, last week that began, and very emotional scenes when that happened. And we'll be showing you some videos from some celebs this morning who are all in support of that.
Daily Mirror is saying testing for NHS staff is in chaos. It was revealed that just 2,000 of them had been tested for Covid-19. Also carrying a picture of a nurse, Thomas Harvey, Dr. Afasaudu, who both died after testing positive for the virus.
The Daily Telegraph says the government has been unable to explain why the UK's testing strategy is behind that of other nations. And last night, Boris Johnson released an online video in which he promised to ramp up tests.
And online BuzzFeed reporting what it calls an appalling breakdown in communication between Public Health England and the government's Animal Health Agency, which may have reduced the UK's coronavirus testing capacity by tens of thousands per week. Two scientists who work for the agency have told the website that Public Health England is not using their labs or their trained staff. Oh, and books and games. Sorry, the other one I was going to pick up there. You probably know this already if you're at home. Everyone's going back to the board games.
Jigsaws.
Number one, 240% rise in the sale of board games. And, of course, the game that comes out top every time is?
Board games?
Yeah.
As in not drafts?
Just
chess.
one answer. Oh boy, just one answer will do. Just a board game. Which one do you think is the best-selling board game?
Monopoly.
Of course. Yes, is the answer.
Is
Correct.
drafts not a board game?
I don't know.
You know, lots of people are trying to keep themselves occupied at the moment, and this is lovely. This is, you remember the album cover of Definitely Maybe by Oasis?
Yes.
It's on the top left there. Well, Danny Reeves sent a picture of his friends creating the artwork in their garden, and they've tweeted it to Oasis, but I think that's a really, really good effort, and they've tweeted all the album covers and they've impersonated, well, you know, recreated them. Good way to use your time.
We are interested in the various creative ways that you are spending your time. Feel free to send us pictures this morning of what it is what is the thing that sort of occupied your time. Could be something really mundane, but it's sort of keeping people going one way or another. Oh, I tell you what, the game Frustration did come out of the cupboard the other day, and it was annoying.
Was it?
That's the whole point. It was annoying, and I lost, which is doubly bad.
There you go. That's why it was annoying.